In this lesson, I will show you how to string bend on the guitar, and I'll show you how to learn to string bend properly, step by step. String bending is an incredibly expressive technique, and it can take your playing to a completely new level. Now, when practicing this technique, it can be quite strenuous at first, so if it does start to hurt, then please take a break and come back to it once you've had a good rest from doing it. The way your hand should move when bending a string is as if you were turning a key in a door lock, or you were turning a doorknob. So to get a feel for this motion that you should be making, place your fretting hand underneath your guitar neck and have your palm flat against the neck like this. Keep the side of your hand with the first finger attached to the neck, acting as a fulcrum, and then rotate your wrist so that your little finger side moves down away from the neck. You see, your hand should be rotating from the wrist and your first finger should be stuck to the neck, acting like a pivot. Now, this is a very exaggerated motion, but this is the movement that your hand should be making when you're bending a string. So get a feel for this motion. Place your thumb over the top of the neck, then place your third finger on the 8th fret of the B string. Then you can place your second finger on the same string behind this finger. See, this finger is going to be supporting the third finger when we do start bending. You can support these fingers with your first finger as well. I tend to use this first finger to help me with muting the other strings, so this might be something to think about trying when you are used to bending. The way your finger connects with the string should be like this. So imagine my hand here is the string. So if I press down on the string straight on, it's going to be harder to get the leverage to push the string upwards. So I hold the string here so that the finger connects with the string at a slight angle, just slightly underneath the string instead of straight on. So instead of placing the very tips of the fingers on the string and pushing, try placing them at just a slight angle so it's almost like you're just minutely underneath the string too. So this can help you to push the string upwards and into the fretboard at the same time, which will make it easier to bend. Now you're in this position, lock the fingers in place and push the string upwards. Now your fingers will provide some of the pressure, but the wrist is where the pressure really comes from. So turn the wrist just like I showed you earlier, with your fingers locked in place on that string and your thumb clamped over the top. Now notice as my wrist turns, the wrist also pushes down slightly with the motion of the bend as the string gets pushed up. Now this is going to take some getting used to, so the thing to practice here is just bending the string over and over and over again and getting used to this motion and the movement that your arm, your wrist and your hands make when you're bending. When you start getting the motion, then it's time to work on your accuracy. I always tell my students that you need to bend with purpose. So this means you need to learn to bend to a pitch with accuracy. So when you do bend when you're playing, you really mean to do it. When you play with different scales and in different contexts, you will need to find which notes are best to bend and which pitches you are aiming to bend to. See, there are different types of bends, such as half-tone bends, whole tone bends, 1.5 tone bends, 2-tone bends, even microtonal bends. There are loads for you to play around with. So let's start with a few bends from the pentatonic shape. This will be a great place to start to learn the concept, and it'll work whenever you're playing within this scale shape. And as you know, this is a very common scale shape, so it's a good place to start learning your bending. Now, the pentatonic scale lends itself to whole tone bends really well. And let's use the key of A pentatonic minor for the example. Let's begin with the note that we've been practicing with, so the third finger playing the 8th fret on the B string. You're probably getting quite used to bending this note now. When bending this note, we need to bend a whole tone. This means we need to bend this note and get it to a pitch a whole tone away. Now, a whole tone is the equivalent of 2 frets, so we're aiming to bend this note at the 8th fret up, so it sounds like the note at the 10th fret. So to practice this, I want you to play the 10th fret first to get a reference pitch, so you know what you need your bend to sound like. Then move back to the 8th fret and bend it up until it goes in tune. So then hold this note there, and then with your picking hand, I want you to just rest your hand on the strings to mute the string, and then you can release the bend. So all we want to concentrate is getting the note to pitch and then muting it. At this point, we don't want to hear the note release at all. We just want to get it to pitch and then mute the note. You see, it's common for people when they're new to bending to let the bend slip out of tune instead of stopping the note. So if you get to pitch and then you let it go out of tune, it's just not going to sound very good and it'll ruin the sound of the bend that you've just done. So try and get into the habit of muting the string when finished bending to avoid this slipping out of tune sound like this. Keep repeating this bend practice and get used to pitching accurately. You're aiming to get to the pitch straight away. Now try the same type of whole tone bend on the G string at the 7th fret. So we're aiming for a whole tone, so we're aiming for the note of the 9th fret. So play this note, get your reference pitch, go back to the 7th fret and then bend up to pitch. Hold the note, mute the note and repeat. So 9th fret, 7th fret bend, get to pitch, hold the note, mute the string, release the bend. Now we're going to try the high E string at the 8th fret and we're aiming for a whole tone again. So play that 10th fret, get your reference pitch, back to the 8th fret, bend up, hold the note, mute the note, release the bend. Now these are great places to start you off bending and sound great when you're in this pentatonic shape. So now I want you to practice these bends without the reference pitch, but with the backing track. So you're aiming to get it into pitch every single time, and you should be able to start hearing if the note is in tune or not with the backing track. Now we're going to try a half step or a semitone bend. The half step bend we're going to try comes from the natural minor scale, which fits quite well with the pentatonic shape anyway. We're going to play the note at the 7th fret of the high E string and we're going to bend this note up half a step, so just 1 fret to the 8th fret. So practice this bend in the exact same way as we have done with the others. So we're going to play the 8th fret as your reference note first, go back to the 7th, bend it up to pitch, hold the note, mute the strings, release the bend, and repeat. Then I want you to practice with the backing track again and try and pitch the bend and get it in tune every time without using the reference pitch. Obviously we've only looked at bending with the 3rd finger here, but the same principle and practice routines apply to using different fingers when you bend too. So the 3rd finger, the one we've been using, is probably the most common finger to bend with, which is why we've focused on it so far. The 2nd finger is also used a lot, so after working on this 3rd finger, move on to doing these same exercises and practice routines with your 2nd finger as well. The little finger isn't used as much, but this is the finger I would recommend to work on next. The final finger to work on will be your 1st finger. This finger is the hardest finger to bend with, as there's no supporting fingers. The 1st finger bends are definitely not as common. It will take time to learn these bends, and do make sure that you learn them and practice them in different keys as well. Different parts of the neck and the different strings will feel different, as the strings tension is different when played at different parts of the fretboard. For example, bending at the 1st fret is much harder than bending at the 12th fret. One thing I do want to mention as well is the direction of your bends. Bending up or down will yield the same results. In fact, I would be tempted to say that bending the notes downwards is actually a bit easier to do. The main thing to consider when it comes to the direction of your bends is the room on the fretboard. For example, bending downwards on the high E string isn't really possible, as there just isn't enough room before your finger falls off the neck. I generally follow the idea that the G string, B string and E string is an upward bend, and the E string, A string and D string are downward bends. But these are not rules, so do experiment. Next, you want to learn licks with bending in them. I'm going to give you 3 licks to learn to help you with your bending. You don't need to learn them note for note, just have fun with them, adapt them, do what you want with them. Tabs for these and the free backing track are available from the link in the description box below. Lick 1. Lick number 1 comes from the A minor pentatonic scale, so we're going to start off with the G string 7th fret bend up a whole tone. Then we're going to go to the 5th fret of the G string, 7th fret of the D string, and then we're going to end with just a hammer on from the 5th fret to the 7th fret of that D string. Just a quick little hammer on to finish us off with. So let's hear that all together. Lick 2. This second lick also comes from the A minor pentatonic scale, so let's start off with the 8th fret of the B string, bend up a full tone, and mute that bend, and then play the 8th fret without the bend this time. Then still on the B string, we'll go to the 5th fret, play that note again before playing the next note, which is the 7th fret of the G string, and we bend that note up a full tone as well. Do that twice. And then we play the 7th fret of the G string again, but this time without a bend. Then to the 5th fret, and finish on the 7th fret of the D string, the root note. So again, fiddle around with the rhythms of it, do what you want with it, do your bends differently, just make it your own. But the way I've got it wrote down is like this. Lick 3. This third lick comes from the minor pentatonic scale as well, but we're going to throw in a semitone bend from that natural minor scale as well. So it's going to be 8th fret on the high E string, followed by the 5th fret on the high E string, back to the 8th fret on the high E string, and then we're going to do that bend at the 7th fret of the high E string, bending up a semitone to this 8th fret again. Now I like to do that bend with my second finger for this lick, it just feels right, that. Then we're going to go to the 5th fret of the high E string again, and we're going to finish this lick off with the 8th fret on the B string, bend up a full tone. So when you get it together, it should sound something like this. Make sure you check out the video I have on vibrato and the video I have on bending with vibrato, but be sure to have bending down and vibrato down on their own before you move on to bending with vibrato. So if you could subscribe to the channel, like the video, that'd be great, and I'll see you in the next one.